During World War II, speed and survival mattered more than comfort. Military engineers, frontier craftsmen, and rural builders had to construct homes, barracks, and shelters that could stay warm in brutal winters, using no modern insulation, no central heating, and limited fuel. Yet many of these log cabins stayed warmer than today's so-called energy-efficient houses. So, what did World War II builders know that modern construction forgot? The answer lies in thermal mass, airflow control, orientation, and ratios, not gadgets. Modern builders often misunderstand log cabins, assuming logs work like fiberglass insulation, but World War II builders knew better. Large logs don't stop heat loss the way foam does, but they store heat. Thick logs absorb warmth from a fire during the day and slowly release it at night. This is called thermal mass heating, and it's why cabins stayed warm long after fires burned down. The World War II standard was logs about 25 to 35 centimeters thick, so that's like 10 to 14 inches. Anything thinner was just rejected in cold regions. Today, though, a lot of so-called log homes use decorative half-logs that lose heat rapidly. World War II builders followed a simple rule that modern builders ignore: the firebox-to-room volume ratio. 1 cubic foot of firebox for every 350 to 400 cubic feet of room space. This ensured faster heat saturation, less fuel waste, and stable overnight temperatures. Modern stoves are often undersized for open-plan homes, which, honestly, forces constant refueling and leads to heat loss. World War II cabins were rarely placed randomly. Builders oriented cabins to maximize southern sun exposure, minimize north wind impact, and use trees, hills, and earth as windbreaks. Windows were small and strategic, not just decorative. The World War II window-to-wall ratio was no more than 10 to 12% of total wall area. Modern homes often lose somewhere between a quarter and even up to 2/5 of their heat, just bleeding it out constantly. Chimneys back in the day were actually used as heat tools, not just a way to get smoke out. But now, with today's metal flue pipes, we're just sending that heat straight up into the sky. During the war, builders relied on long masonry chimneys, routed right through the interior, and used stone or clay to create heat paths. This way, smoke would transfer its warmth into the cabin before heading out. At least 3/5 of the chimney's length would run inside the heated space. But nowadays most homes only manage, 0 to 1/5. Builders during the war really understood something that, honestly, a lot of modern construction has forgotten: uncontrolled airflow gets rid of heat way faster than even poor insulation does. Those old cabins used moss, clay, lime, or even ash for chinking, kept their log joints tight, and had barely any holes or penetrations. They allowed for controlled ventilation, not the kind of constant leakage we see today. Modern homes rely on mechanical systems to fix leaks that really shouldn't even exist in the first place. High ceilings, they sure look beautiful, but honestly, they waste a lot of heat. So, WWII cabins typically had ceiling heights of about 7 to 7.5 feet. Hot air stayed right where people lived, These days, modern vaulted ceilings actually increase heating demand by something like 20 to 35%. Here's the most forgotten secret of all: thermal mass ratio. You needed at least 1 ton of interior mass for every 15 to 20 square meters of floor space. Stone hearths, clay floors, thick logs, and earthen walls, they all acted as heat reservoirs. But modern drywall interiors, they store almost nothing. WWII builders didn't chase R values. They designed systems, not just products. Their cabins heated faster, stayed warm longer, used less fuel, and worked just fine without electricity. Nowadays, modern homes rely on machines to make up for poor design. Heating isn't really about equipment, it's about physics, ratios, and placement. WWII builders knew this because, honestly, failure meant freezing. And today, those forgotten log cabins are still standing, still warm, still teaching lessons we've ignored for decades.